Hello, you guys. Welcome to your March 2026 Pick a Card Tarot reading. Okay, now let's go over the decks and what we're dealing with. Pile 1, we have the Unfolding Path Tarot. The stone used for this deck is the Aura Quotes, and it's used to align your mind, body, and spirit. For pile 2, we have the Lioness Oracle Tarot. The crystal we have for this pile is the calcite, and it's an excellent stone for removing spiritual energy blockages and for positive vibrations. For pile 3, we have the Weaver Tarot. Now this crystal is a dyed agate, also known as a dragon agate. It's a grounding stone and it has different effects for different colors, but this one brings the fire. For pile 4, we have the Rosebud Tarot. This last crystal is a milky quartz and is believed to be a cleansing stone. It's great for heightening your immune system. And this is for pile 4. So go ahead and pick your pile right now. Okay, pile 1, welcome to your reading. Let's get started. Yeah, we have some cards that fell out. Okay, let's see what we have. We have the page. Okay. Oh. Okay, so first we have the Page of Cups. This is someone who's being very curious about their spirituality in this month, maybe even curiosity with relationships. You're starting to get in touch with your emotions. You're learning about your emotions. Very intuitive, very spiritual theme of the month. This is leaning heavy on that Pisces energy, so you're focused, and then you see the fish there. There's a lot of cleansings, new beginnings, healing, forgiving with this card. Looks like this is the main theme of your month, releasing, forgiving, really starting to get in touch with your inner wisdom. It's interesting that it's an older man here too. So it really makes me think that you could be older. Usually this represents a young person, but an older person starting to get in touch with their spirituality, their religion, their even psychology, healing, releasing, and forgiving. This month is going to bring some grief, some loss in relationships, or something that's very emotional, that's heavy on you. There is a change happening for you this month. At the same time, try not to look at what you don't have and look at what you do have. You may be in a dark place, and when you are in a dark place, try to focus more on the positive. And this is when it comes to your emotions. This is when it comes when you're very sensitive. Comes with more internal energy, not really other people. Not other people could be affecting you this month, but this is really about yourself, okay, and what you're feeling. Yes. Also, too, we have, new spark of drive. It will be Aries season coming up for March. So there are new beginnings. God is giving you new inspiration, new creativity, new passion. This is someone who's deciding to actually use their body to work out. This is someone who's deciding to be really creative or really express themselves truly. There's passion here. There is passion. There's, I want to say aggression, but in a positive way. So what is a positive word? I guess that's passion. This is someone who's really like, okay, I'm really going to go do it. Very motivated is the word that I was thinking. Someone who's highly motivated, but it's new. God is giving you the opportunity to use that in the month of May. Okay, and also we have you being on stage and celebrated. Now, in this card, in this this card is unique, right? This person is handicapped. So it's almost like you're being celebrated for something that's not normal or something that is somewhat of a handicap for you, right? There's triumph, there's success, there's achievement. This is not the month to be shy. This is the month to use all your talents, all your gifts, because you're being celebrated. And this is great. I mean, this is interesting that it's sad and there's grief and there's change. At the same time, people are honoring you and celebrating you. Let's see what else we have. So, well-being. In the month of March, there is a focus of well-being. Having an upbeat nature doesn't just happen. If you would like to enjoy your life and maintain a positive outlook, it is important to take an enthusiastic approach. Staying positive and appreciative through life's dilemmas can prove difficulty. So you want to be very optimistic this month. Examine your approach to life. Reflect on how your lifestyle and your worldview impacts your attitudes and your behaviors. Are you online and you're only looking at negative things? Are you falling through a deep hole of sorrow and grief? And that's not what you should focus on. You should focus more on the positive. Reflect on once you have clarity in these areas, you can let go of what is not effective and make change towards your wellness. Make a real life effort to change your unhealthy habits, the negativity, the grief, you focusing on what you don't have. Through this process, you will be able to determine what is essential to you. As you alter your behavior, you will enjoy your body, your mind, your spirit. The positive energy, the power of positivity and optimism really changes your mental health and your physical health. You will be able to find healthy channels where you can spend your time doing more favorable and enjoyable activities. Right? So in this, we have someone, and she has a lot of flowing hair. Light is surrounding her. She's a fairy. There is natural flow of energy. So this is someone who needs to be adaptable and go with the flow of life. Also, this relates to self-awareness and knowing where your energy is best not suited. So this is a time to set some boundaries. There are spider webs in here. And they point to life choices and places where you might be deceiving yourself. As you balance your well-being, you will untangle the webs. So basically, this card is saying to be more positive, to think optimistically, to set boundaries when there's negativity. Now over here we have the transformation card, and it's sitting next to this new spark. So this new drive, this new spark, this new energy, this new vitality, this new passion, this new creativity, this new spark of energy, just physical energy as well, is going to transform you. Okay, you're going to have a positive outlook and it's going to transform you. You are going to be more yourself and it's going to transform you. You're going to be more creative, more optimistic, have more faith, set some boundaries, be more strong, be more courageous. And this is going to provide transformation for you in the month of March, okay? Now, transformation is very deep. It goes through some dark stuff, okay? You have to get the skeletons out the closet, but overall, it does represent change. And once you have this change, once you're able to go through the dark and see the light at the end of the tunnel, then there will be movement. There will be progression for you in the month of March. I want to roll the die here and see what we have for you. Ooh, this is a month of spirituality, also a month of traveling, optimism, positivity, and then we have Neptune, more positive with your dreams, more positive with your compassion and your love. Eighth house, this is someone who's getting therapy. This is this transformation here. The eighth house also represents physically changing your body, like you having operations. So Neptune can represent. It seems like it's lacking kind of energy. It also represents death and ending and forgiveness and releasing. But this one is bringing the optimism. Also be careful of over overdoing this Neptune energy. So be careful of overdoing charity. Be careful of overdoing not setting boundaries. The Sagittarius energy likes to overdo. So be aware of that. But this is heavy on therapy, transformation, psychology. I don't know if I'm showing this up close. So this is the Sagittarius. Then we have Neptune here. And then we have 8 here. So with these, with 8, there is huge transformation and change. It could be physical transformation, but at the same time, it could be a more mental, spiritual transformation. 8th house also deals with things that are very taboo, things that are like, the trash man, a prostitute, the tarot reader, things that people really want to keep in the dark. Also, it's great for investigative work. Also, this is dealing with shared resources. So this could be a change that is happening for you, and you could be feeling negative, or there could be some heavy sensitivities. Maybe you're becoming more independent, and you have to be brave with that. Let's see what else we have for you. We have Brother of the Rose, sacred masculine protection. A lot of support for you. It looks like it's coming more from a masculine side. Sacred masculine protection and support. So it looks like the men around you are going to be very supportive. Now, masculine support also looks very external. So while you're going through this internal work, something physical or external is going to become your way. So you'll actually see it and feel it. And yeah, very protective. There's a lot of support. Yeah, people are happy. Again, we have trusted seasons, and this card represents change and transition, growth and cycles. This is a month of a reset. This is definitely a month of a change for you. It's definitely a heavy month of transitions. We got it twice here. We got this new ace happening. We have spring equinox happening in March. So there is definitely a reset, and it's very positive. Okay, so let's see what else we have. Oops, wow. Okay. Again, we have another page of cards. This is someone who's being very curious. They're studying, they're learning. A lot of clarity is starting to happen for you. Very enthusiastic energy because it's very young, but this is all about reading. This is someone who's getting knowledge. This is someone who is using their mental more than anything. So you have that happening for you. And then we have the Two of Swords. Two of Swords represents being a little confused, right? Mentally. You have the blindfold here. Look at the moon is in the background saying to use your intuition, because remember, you're learning how to be more spiritual and to go off of more of your emotions and what your intuition is saying. But maybe this transition here is going to cause you to be indecisive, maybe uncertain. Maybe there's something you're trying to avoid. There is going to be a difficult choice here. Let's see what happens when this happens. When there is a difficult choice, it's time for you to rest, okay? Time for you to take a time out. Let it go. Let God go with the flow. Try not to control it. But there might also be a sign that you're avoiding. And that sign could actually be the truth. And it could be something that's dealing with change. Also, too, if you decide not to choose, that's also a choice. That's also an option. Whenever we have the 2, we are dealing with duality. We're dealing with relationships, maybe even relationships with God. When we're dealing with 4, we're dealing with stability. But also, too, there needs to be a time to rest. Maybe not even talk, maybe just listen. Because the swords represents communication. And the 4 swords would say to stop communicating. Just stop talking. Let's pull some charms. And I have Z and P. Looks like those are going to be the positive letters for you in a month of March. So anything that starts with Z or ends with Z or has Z in it, or anything or a person that you know with P, or something very spiritual with P, because white is purity. With P also represents something special for you that's happening this month. Okay. So yeah, that is what we have. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. Hello, Pal 2. Welcome to your reading, and let's get started. This bugs me here. I don't know if you can see that, but it's not neat. There we go. Okay, let's see what we have for you. Okay, so actually let me scooch this in a little bit more. So first we have the Five of Pentacles, and the Five of Pentacles is thinking in lack, not having money, losing money. There's change of money for you. Okay, this is I would say a negative card when it comes to thinking and your mentality. This could be physical health. There is a change happening, and it's thinking in lack and what you don't have. You're talking about earth, physical, career, your money, your stability, your ego, your nurture, like natural things, things that are very tangible, and foundations. And when it's in a five, you are thinking of a change in those things. So a change in something that could physically be the earth, like an earthquake, a change in your physical body. There is a change in your career. There's change with stability, your foundation. There's a change with nature. That's changing. Also represents conflict and uncertainty. Now, when there is a conflict, you think in lack. When there is an uncertainty, you think in lack. Okay? So there is uncertainty and there is a change when it comes to your ego, when it comes to your finances, when it comes to your health. Also, too, when it comes to the zodiac, this card represents Mercury in Taurus. And when you have Mercury in Taurus, you are only thinking about your stability and what you value. So that is the main focus of March. And there is a energy of scarcity here. And there is an energy of almost like fear. And when you have the fear, you're not able to really count your blessings. You're not able to really see your opportunities clearly. And you want to focus on the problem. What is the problem? Get rid of the problem, but not really think in lack, because money is always transitional. Your health, you can improve your health. There is always a change in health. The older you get, I guess, there is change always with health. But what can you do to improve your health, right? What can you do to improve, to rebuild, if it's dealing with something that is a physical thing? But this is a physical struggle. This is financial hardship. It feels like you're under, like there's loss. Also, to literally feeling like you're out in the cold. If you see this person, they're in the umbrella. They're under the umbrella here. So they feel like they're out in the cold. Let's see what else we have connected to this for the month of March. We have the Seven of Cups. And when you're dealing with seven, you're dealing with reflection, you're dealing with knowing, you're dealing with inquiry. And we have it in the cups. That's water, that's emotion, that is intuition, that's spirituality, there's healing, there's connections. Again, relationships. So it's like you are reflecting on things you know in regards to your intuition or your spirituality or relationships. Or there's something connected with the healing. Now, this card also represents the Venus in Scorpio. Okay, so this is someone who's very deep. They love a dream, a fantasy. They love to expand themselves out of this world. Very visionary space. Very creative imagination. It's very psychic. It's very creative. There's a lot of daydreaming, sensuality, and channeling this month. So you're going to be very intuitive this month. Maybe this lack of energy will bring that to you. But when you are working this during this month, I want you not to have illusions. I want you to pay attention to the wishful thinkings. This card also represents there's a lot of opportunities, and sometimes a lot could be overwhelming. And also, this is like material, like there's so many paths you can do. That you can do what's materialistic. You can do love, joy, what is emotionally fulfilling you. And it's like, which path should you choose? What option should you choose? I want you not to be too swept off with the daydreams. It might be a chance, this might bring you into true reality. It's almost like you're in space, and now this is bringing true reality to you. We have the King of Pentacles. Oh yeah, this is all about the finances, okay? King of Pentacles is also going to represent your physical body, your finances, and now the king is here, okay? So the father figure, the leader, the boss, the person who knows it all when it comes to having stability, having structure, having money, finances, your career, your work, physical health. This is going to be you this month. This lack of energy is going to cause you to be a leader in this department. Be careful of the materialism here. We have the Wheel of Fortune. This is a major arcana card. This card represents Jupiter, the world, expansion. But the Wheel of Fortune also represents cycles and changes in life. So there's going to be some financial or health changes here. But you have to understand that that's what the universe is about. The universe is about change. It looks like you don't want the change with this pentacle energy. It never wants change, but there is going to be change. It encourages you to be brave and face whatever is not permanent. There's a new phase in life. There's a shift in your fortune. There is movement. You're creating your own luck. The choice that you decide is going to give you momentum. There's something that could be recurring over and over and over again. And are you paying attention to the cycle? But major expansion of your horizons here. Now, also we have, and this is a big deal, this change. Okay. Also, we have the Nine of Swords. Anytime we're dealing with the number 9, we're dealing with fulfillment. We are dealing with the end of something and actually realizing something and awareness, because there is a closure. Now, again, the swords represent your mental, communication, power, truth. And the Nine of Swords is really dealing with some conflict here. If you see, there's fire. The guy looks a little scary. He looks like Edward Scissorhands in his card. But the Nine of Swords is when the ugly side of life threatens to consume you. The darkness takes up residence in your soul. The light seems unattainable. There's a lot of anxious energy with this, fear and mental torment, and it's taking away your joy and happiness. This is someone who's, you won't be able to sleep. There's insomnia. You feel afraid. You're suffering. You're imagining the worst. It's very negative and very toxic. This is a thing you have to realize, though. There's a huge change, and you're causing yourself to be more mentally negative than embracing the change. Now, this is the positive part. This is someone who doesn't like change, this King of Pentacles. So, yes, you need to understand that there is finances and health and routines in life. However, there is always going to be this change. And once you're able to embrace the change, then there's positivity. It's going to bring you good luck. We have the Eight of Cups here too. The Eight of Cups is walking away from what no longer serves you. So there is a huge change for you in this month. 8 represents change. It represents expertise. It represents achievement. Again, the cups is about your emotions. It's about your intuition, even relationships. A lot of healing. This also reminds me of an eclipse. We do have an eclipse this month, so go ahead and check out the video that I did on astrology and connected to this. But this eclipse this month looks like it's going to really affect you. You're walking away from what no longer serves you. This card in astrology represents Saturn in Pisces. Pisces represents endings. Pisces also represents dreams. Saturn is the fear of that. Saturn is also the fear of endings. So the Eight of Cups represents a time of leaving behind an emotional situation that has been draining you. You've been drained. You got to walk away. Although it may be difficult to walk away, the transformation that awaits is worth it. So this card could represent a breakup. It definitely represents moving on. It's withdrawing in to renew yourself. It's also about releasing, forgiving, letting go. This is searching for your true soul searching, cutting ties with those that suck your energy, that drains you. Let's see what else we have for this month. Actually, we're gonna go deep because it looks like you got a deep month here. And this is okay. Transformation is always good. Change happens in life. Let's see where we're going to put this. The empty room. Okay. Oh, we got some color here. And we got the underworld. The underworld means change, for sure. So we'll start off with this card, the empty room. And this is really like nothing. The empty room hunts us all. It is the universal and all too frequent feeling of lack of wanting, of craving to fill ourselves with something, anything. We too often attempt to remedy the discomfort of the empty room by any means necessary, leading us to a culture of more. Look at this. This is like materialism. And it's like you're trying to fill the materialism with the empty space instead of filling the space with something that's very important, like spirituality, love, compassion. Let's see what else we have here. The empty room is filled with to the brim with potential, yet we perceive it as it's not enough. You think the room is empty, but there's actually something in the room. This card is a cry for patience, for sitting within the barren walls of not knowing, for awaiting true vision and purpose before attaching to what we should do next to save our outward appearance. So here it is. It's like you have all these options here because you're trying to fill this empty void. But is the void really empty? Should you be filling your own cup? I hope that makes sense. This is someone who's constantly shopping. This is someone who is constantly having intercourse. This is someone who constantly doesn't want to be alone because they feel like there's a void and there's really lack of love here. For awaiting true vision and purpose before attaching to what we should do next to save your outward appearance. Be with the nothingness. Be with the nothingness. Be with the impatient. Take your time. Move slow. There's a lot of power in this empty space because it's really solitude. Let others wonder what you're doing. If you can settle in to the magic of emptiness, you will soon hear its whispers and wisdoms. This is like someone who's meditating. This is someone who's actually not talking, but actually listening to God. Okay. Major day of silence. Be aware of not falling into addiction. And really think of positivity, especially when you're in a dark place. Okay, so let's see what we have for this card. Now, this card makes me really think of transition here. And always, too, looking at the color is very important when reading all cards. But this is the nightmare. And we already have this. So this is the card saying the same thing. The nightmare, the ordeal, the bottom. This is no time to mince words. This card represents the underworld, suffering and pain. It is the darkest shadow realm, which we try to avoid or to deny at any cost. Try as you might, the darkness still pulls you into its depths. This is someone who tries to avoid the subconscious, but it doesn't matter because it will always show up. And the reason why it's showing the way it shows up, it could show up in really bad dreams or images or unexpected accidents, maybe an illness, maybe a war, maybe a conflict, maybe even an ultimate death or ending of something. So when you try to deny the existence of the underworld, when you try to deny that it even is happening to you, this is where it gets dangerous. This is someone who needs to address the fear, address the negativity. This is someone who needs to go deep. This is someone who needs to go to therapy. This is someone who needs to go into the closet, get all the skeletons out, and cleanse them. This is the energy of releasing, forgiving. Major cleanse needs to happen for you in the month of March. This makes you a better friend. This makes you better with intimacy. This makes you loving yourself better. Facing darkness and choosing light is the most profound thing that you can do. And that's what's going to happen for you in the month of March. There's bravery. There's deepness. There's no surface level. This is all surface. This is deep. And it looks like you're going to go deeper. It's going to cause you to mentally be better with your health, physically be better with your health, be better with your finances, and really think about the consequences long term too. So this is the month that you have to address anything that you're in denial about, anything that you're suppressing. If you are being an evil person, an evil spirit, this is a time to cleanse that energy. This is a time to deal with anything that's dealing with the unconsciousness. And then lastly, we have the bridge. Look at that. The bridge is taking us to somewhere positive, to walking away from what no longer serves you, to you understanding that there is a cycle in this world. During the month of March, there is going to be a connection, a link, a gate. Bridges are built to connect two worlds. So you're taking this unconsciousness and you're bringing it to the conscious. This is where you create a flow, allowing the darkness to come to the light. This is when you say yes. This is where you are not going to withdraw or separate. This is not going to be the energy of saying no. When you cross a bridge to an unknown land, you are led magically into a new reality. So now you're entering a new world. This also represents that travel energy too. But it could be mentally, spiritually, a travel. Also too, there's a lot of healing and communication. When you enter a new world, you're more open to others. You also you're more curious, you're into learning, you have new philosophies in life. You enter a state of curiosity. The bridge between the everyday world and the sacred. This card asks you to study the connections between the disconnected part of your life. And that could be your relationship. That could be a trauma. That could be something historically. That could be something culturally. It could be your ideology. But remember that bridge can't be forced. It must be made with love. There must be a structure so it could withstand the inevitable of life's weathers. Okay, so make the bridge strong. This month is about focusing on bridges. I feel like this is such a deep read. It's very heavy. Okay, you have a Saturn in Pisces, so it's going to be heavy. This is going to be a month of a lot of releasing, a lot of forgiving, a lot of cleansing. It's going to be very deep. There's a lot of energy of solitude. There's a lot of energy of focusing on your finances and your health. There is going to be a huge change, but the 10 represents an end. Okay, now you have a lot of anxiety. You can't sleep. That's because you need to deal with the unconscious. You need to deal with the dark side, and you need to have that transition and start building a bridge and walk away from what no longer serves you. Okay, and pull a little bit more few cards, but I think you get the gist of the month. Stop the endless searching. You know the truth. Stop endlessly searching with things that are not really helping you and not healing you. We have the Sun card. The Sun card represents vitality. It represents joy, life, fun, success. This darkness is going to bring you to the light for sure. Okay. A lot of Temple of the Rose, sacred power, expressions, scarlet codes. This is very feminine power. This is about wisdom, and it's been suppressed. As a result, the feminine energy has been silenced. This is more internal energy, and you've been silencing it, you've been dismissing it, you've been disrespecting it. Could be disrespecting a female. And when you are not connected to Mother Earth or any feminine energy, you also disrespect elders too. But this is a time of change. Every time you honor your body, express your wisdom, share your voice, connect with your sensuality, heal your sacred feminine energy. Let me be clear. Feminine energy is internal energy. You could be a man and have feminine energy. You could be a female and have masculine energy. But whenever you try to disrespect the internal world, it comes out very sour. It comes out. But this card is asking you to come back to your true power, expressing your truth, no matter what it is. It's also sharing your soul's voice and singing a song that you're meant to sing, right? It's really about using your voice, using the feeling more than what is being said as well. This could be something from your childhood. There's a lot of women, ancestral energy here. But maybe someone who needs to say things out loud too. Let's see what we have here. Okay, we have here Leo energy. Leo is about being brave and being courageous. Okay, and really having your self-expression. It's also ruled by the sun. So there could be something dealing with kids, something you having fun like a child. This is heavy in relationships, 7. 7 also represents inner harmony and having balance with yourself, having some inner balance, being creative. This also could represent something, a relationship with others. Neptune is the planet of releasing, forgiving, endings. It is very dark, Neptune. It is things that you cannot see, things that are very hidden. But it also represents an ending and a change of some sort, but a lot of releasing and cleansing. Okay. But major focus on the Leo energy here. The sun is going to bring you out of this darkness, and the sun does represent creativity. It represents giving life, fertility. So there is going to be a death of something, an ending of something, a darkness of something, but the sun will come through March, and it will bring happiness and joy in your life. You do have the sun here. So there is success. It looks like it's going to be more success when you are truly yourself, when you are being creative, when you are also being very courageous. This is Leo is not afraid of conflict, but you want to do it with compassion. And maybe even have compassion with yourself, okay? Also to being a very strong leader too. All right, so that is what we have for your reading. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Hello, group 3. Welcome to your reading. Let's get started. Okay, let's see what we have for you. We have a new change happening for you. Oh, another major arcana. 10 of Cups, great energy. 8 of Coins, okay. Okay, so we have the Tower card. The Tower card represents a major change, okay? It represents Mars. Mars represents conflict. It represents having a lot of passion, but there is a huge change. You see, these normally it represents thunder, right? And it's someone who's depending on a false structure because the structure was not stable. It was a false foundation. Okay, and also too, this card represents Mars and Uranus. So expect the unexpected, but do know that there's conflict and major change here happening. Mars also represents aggression. It represents war. So you have this with this card too. An explosion of change and transformation. A lot of the readings today represents transformation. The potent electricity can bring excitement or chaos, but when the chip falls, a new foundation is present. This is a breakthrough. This month, there is an awakening this month. There is a restructuring this month. A lot of high intensity. Mars is very physical. It likes change. It moves forward. It's very passionate, very assertive, very impulsive, very fast. The old falling away, so that something new can be built. Breakdown of pre-existing patterns. Something new is definitely going to come your way. That is a major arcana, so this is a huge deal. Now we also have it sitting next to the star card. The star card represents Aquarius, represents Uranus energy, so there is something different and unique happening. This is something very unexpected, something that's never happened before. Aquarius energy too represents the intellect. So you do have this. Aquarius also represents learning the knowledge and sharing the knowledge. So spreading the knowledge to the world. That could be happening to you this month. The star shines brightly with inspiration from otherworldly realms. Very unique, out of the box. People think you're like, what are you doing? Why are you being so weird? Weird is a perfect word to express the star card. Very imagination. The imagination is limitless. Okay. Creativity is there's no limit to creativity that you're going to have this month. Multi-dimensional perspective allows to see new ideas and new ideas, expanding what you really think intellectually, your philosophies. A lot of clarity. This is expansion. This is not conforming to what people want you to be in a box. It's very visionary. A lot of third eye, cosmic kind of energy. I want you to understand too in this month that there is also healing. You see the two hands here. This card also represents healing, regeneration, a lot of optimism, faith, a lot of inspiration. And so this change here is going to cause you to be very inspirational. This is the card that's going to bring the hope. Also too, I find that this card is very spiritual and has faith. You let go of things that no longer serve you and begin to grow more fully into your truest version of yourself. This is someone who's bearing it all too, because normally this card, they're naked. So they are able to see the truth, feel the truth. This is the card that's going to bring you back to your life's purpose, bring you back to being inspirational or what inspires you. What is the true meaning of things? It returns to the essence within you that is very loving and serene. Raise your eyes to the heavens kind of energy. Very open to new possibilities. Now we have the Sovereign of Wands, and the Sovereign of Wands is going to empower you. A lot of confidence, a lot of warmth. So you do have this change happening, but it still looks very positive for you. It indicates abundance of energy, a lot of multitasking. Especially if you're able to multitask. You feed off of movement or are excited about the new opportunity. This is someone who has a lot of drive, and Mars does represent drive here. So I wonder if you're going to have a lot of energy this March. Aries we're stepping into Aries, so there is a lot of energy happening. Also too, this is someone who's creating opportunity for themselves. Good things are at work here. You may be finding people who are just drawn to you. You might be a very passionate person and they want to stay with you. This is very optimistic thinking. This is someone who's like a pastor kind of energy, but a female pastor. So they add the nurturing part to it. But allow yourself to take it all, right? This is a card that represents be motivative, take in the motivation, be brave, try something new. Also be loving, radiate the sun, radiate creativity. This is someone who knows their strengths. This is also someone who's going to carry the confidence and wear it proudly. So this month is about being confident, using your physical body, using your strength, moving forward, having clarity, having faith. Yeah, and also being your true authentic self. So now we have the 8 of coins with this. And when I look at this card, the images that they have a key, they have crystals, they have teeth. And the teeth represents wisdom and experience. The key represents discovery and process. The crystals represents abundance. And 8 represents movement, right? And when you have the 8 of coins, you are talking about someone who's being very diligent at work. So there's a lot of drive and success and really being focused on work here. And also achievement. It's going to bring you abundance, success. Very positive reading. I know we have things that are shaking it up, but Mars is the drive here. So it looks like someone who's going to really focus on work and have a lot of success and happiness when it comes to your family, and a lot of success for this whole month. This is someone who's actually putting their dreams into work, building a foundation, being stable, a major movement when it comes to finances or what you value. A lot of abundance when it comes to your emotions and spirituality and relationships. There's major abundance and happiness and success here. This card usually has a rainbow, and a rainbow represents multiple opportunities. This card also represents connection, celebration, and peace. Very happy. This card represents success. Also, if you're someone who deals with the World Wide Web as well. Let's go with these cards. These cards are always so deep for me. We're going to pull out of here and see what we have here. Apocalypse. Let's see. The Mask. And the Riddle. Ooh, I like this card. This card represents removing the veil of deception. So normally when you're in a apocalypse, right, I would think that you're in a very painful time. And now it's going to unfold this month. And the first thing that's going to happen is you're going to be able to see the truth with that star card there. And the darkness is no longer going to happen in the month of March. And be aware when you do have things come to light, there is a energy of releasing and letting go. It does bring some grief because you're able to see the truth. It's almost like when, let's say, for example, there's a conspiracy theory and you're able to understand, like, wait a minute, this conspiracy theory is actually not a conspiracy theory. This is actually true. And then when you find out that this conspiracy theory is true, there is this form of grief because you have the knowledge. Ignorance isn't bliss anymore. So this is kind of the energy that you're going to have in the month of March. The old narrative will break and you will have a new story to form. And some people want to hold on to that old narrative. You know, the star card representing Aquarius. Aquarius is a fixed sign. It may not like the change in thought, but there is going to be a change in thought here from the nakedness of bearing it all, of the truth. So this month you will be finding out some truths. I like that. And it will cause you to be more motivated in your work, in your line of work. Now, the mask makes me think that you're not being your true self. It's almost like there's a performance, or maybe there's going to be a reveal. When you look at a mask, you're thinking that someone's concealing themselves or not being their, like I said, your true self, or you're hiding your identity. I feel like self-expression may be a thing here. Or maybe you're going to put on a mask to achieve what you need to achieve this month, because the mask is going to help you become more in solitude. But this also could be a mask being lifted, and now you're able to see what the truth is. Again, this truth-seeking thing here. Are you able to see what's been suppressed? Taking a mask off and actually seeing what's really there in front of you. Riddle. This is like asking questions. To me, this is the whole month is about finding out the truth. Yeah, this is like a mystery. Questions. And it's almost like you're trying to find the right answer. Maybe you're trying to find it on the internet somehow or with the world, but not every time you're going to get the right answer. There must be a shift from the literal to the metaphorical, from the logic to the mythic. You are thinking too small and literal about a situation. The riddle card appears when the energy is deep and mysterious, like the elusive wisdom of Zen. But this is a very great awakening, aha kind of moment. But be aware that the question may not be answered the way that you want it to be answered. Like, 1 + 1 = 2. It may be like 1 + 1 = 2ZA. And what is the value? What's the variable of Z and A? That could be more of a thing. But you know that there is a question. You know that there is a truth. And it may be deeper than what you can even expound of your knowledge, because this is very deep knowledge here. Be aware of any manipulation or trickery in the month of April, in the month of March, especially when you're dealing with the internet. Also, too, this is a time to talk to God and to meditate, pray. Yeah, but this month is going to be a huge healing process. Not healing, but there's going to be a huge awakening happening for you this month. Let's see what else. I feel like the cards are enough, so I'm going to, Libra, you're dealing with, Uranus. Okay. 10th house. So it looks like this is going to be a huge focus for you of being very intelligent, a lot of intellectual things on the internet, especially when it comes to your career, your public image. You literally are on stage, and this makes me think on stage too with your career. Very Libra energy. Libra energy deals with you trying to look charming and pleasant and beautiful at the same time. There's like a perfect image here, but there's a strong intellectual energy here too. But the month of March is going to be majorly focused on work. So something in the work department, because you have work here, is going to, there's going to be some truth happening for you in the month of March for as your work. Are you wearing a mask? Are you not wearing a mask? Are you taking a mask off? There's a lot of physical energy, a lot of passion for work. A lot of nurturing energy, very passion, moving forward, but truth at the same time. So work and truth happening, but you being a people person, you being a people pleaser at work is also what you get working with others too in the month of March as well. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay. Pal 4, welcome to your reading. Let's get started. Okay, so it looks like we have a thirst for knowledge here. This is someone who can understand the abstract. You're going to have a lot of pursuing the abstract, again, understanding a lot of knowledge. Very aggressive and very assertive, very passionate about language and communication and knowledge. This is someone who's really into clarity. This is someone who's really into wisdom. This is someone who's really into learning. A lot of talking in a month of March for you. Great. It works out really great when it comes to your family and relationships. There's abundance here. There's happiness. There's achievements here. very successful, a lot of options and multiple opportunities when it comes to your emotions, and your internal world is going to be very happy in a month of March. We also have the Two of Fire. Yeah, expanding knowledge. This is someone who's really trying to learn something and build something here. Very envisionary kind of energy, getting ready to start something. In the middle here, we have the Judgment card. And this is also a transformation. It's very deep. A lot of breakthroughs. What is your calling? Also an awakening of some sort happening for you in the month of March. Ten of Fire. There's a lot of heavy weight and burdens for you in March too. This could be physical weight, like you are gaining weight, but this is also could be someone who has to physically carry a lot of things, do a lot of stuff, like someone who's moving physically, weight. But this is also too, you feel like you have a lot on your shoulders. But this 10 represents an ending, the beginning of the ending here. So there is that, but you are climbing a mountain. There is a challenge for you in March. Lastly, we have generosity of water. This is very queen energy. Okay. This is someone who's very nurturing, loving. This is also emotional intelligence. This is someone who is already in a relationship and know that they're happy. This is someone who is, very caring and nurturing, loving, very psychic, a lot of intuitive energy, able to get the healing that you need to get in March is going to be available for you, okay? Very spiritual, intuitive energy, very psychic. Pay attention to your dreams, write them down. We have the Two of Fire and the Three of Fire. So you're going to get the knowledge, you're going to use the knowledge, understand the knowledge, and expand on it. You're going to be on top of the world, expanding your horizons. You're actually going places. This does represent leadership. It represents moving, getting the knowledge that you learned and moving with it, starting a new journey. Also, maybe even traveling as well. We have the Four of Earth, stability, structure, celebrations for you, maybe even a wedding. This also represents your community, and I see you have strong energy with family here. Very controlled comfort as well. It's very structured, doesn't like change. There's foundation here. So a lot of things, a lot of elements happening for you. The strongest thing we have here is the Judgment card, and a Judgment card does represent an awakening of some sort. And it looks like you have the passion and a drive for the awakening happening for you in March. Okay, these cards want to come out. So let's see. They are thirsty. Sensitivity. Okay, be aware of the sensitivity. Oh, maybe with this generosity. Okay, so you're sensitive to other people. You're sensitive to this burden, this weight. Maybe it's the weight of your family, but you can feel it. And you need to pay attention to that because they're not telling you, you're going to feel it. That's what this sensitivity card represents. Also to transform, again, that's what we have here. There is a transformation happening for you, an awakening for sure. Well-being, we had this in the first card, first reading. But yeah, really paying attention to the positive, and that probably is going to cause some comfort for you. Let me pull another card. Unconditional love, very positive, a lot of love flowing for you in this month of March. You're going to have an unconditional love, but there is a transformation. I see a letter popped out. We have the letter N. It's a feminine letter. Here, let me actually show you these. We have the letter N. We have B, and B could be something that's very deep. And then we have the letter P. You will know when you know. Pay attention to these letters here. But pink represents feminine. The B in a dark color means that it's like in the dark. Maybe only you will see it, or maybe it's a secret. And then the P represents in a white color. It represents clarity, newness, purity as well. And it's in a letter P. So check out those letters for the month of March. Let's roll some die here and see what we have for you. We have Pisces, closure, closure when you are communicating. So you have Uranus, the intellectual, the communicator, the internet, The people, very social energy, very fast, very impatient kind of energy. And then we have it in the sign Pisces. So a lot of high intellect when it comes to your emotions. So you do have this emotional intelligence happening for you in this month. And we have it in the third house. Third house represents siblings and relatives. So maybe there could be a heavy theme with your siblings and relatives. Third house also represents a high level of communication. Okay, so major communication. There's major movement, but it's positive with your family. You are going to have unconditional love. There is this need for comfort to help your well-being, but there is expansion and movement. There is a transformation happening for you. It is going to bring a heavy load for you. But be aware of the sensitivity. Be aware of, just the sensitivity, because you can feel it. What you feel is going to be more accurate than what is being said. But you need to use your thirst for knowledge and clarity as well. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. I will see you in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.